Have we got audio now is the question. Right, how are we doing? Looks like we've got some audio, I think. Who knows really? Johnny wouldn't answer me maybe. Have we got audio now, Johnny? Signal isn't good, mate. Okay. Is the audio alright, Mark? I've got a feeling that I'm going to have a problem with the actual live images. I'm going to show some still images, but the live picture, I've got a feeling isn't going to be very good because of memory problems on my PC. Hello, Nick. Nice to see you, mate. Audio is on. Okay, thanks, Ian, very much. Thanks a lot. Yeah, yes, but okay. Yeah, I'm not going to be able to do much about the video quality, unfortunately. That is, I tested it out earlier, and I actually restarted my PC. Yeah, I get that, Nick. I've got a problem with my PC. I'm going to have to do my future live streams purely on my phone, I think. Yeah, I've just had a failure message from YouTube now saying that there's not enough video to maintain a smooth stream. I don't know what really I can do about that at the minute, but anyway, I was going to show you some still photos, which should be okay, and we shall see how we get on. The next live stream I will do not through my PC, or I'll use a different PC. Hello, Darren. Video not so smooth. Yeah, I'm aware of that. It's just something I can't really do anything about now. I will try and have another test in the week and see if I can make it better for the next time. I think it's to do with memory on my PC. I've been having issues, memory issues. I did actually upgrade the memory, but despite having done that, it's not been very good. Anyway, I'm not going to worry too much about that. I'm not going to do a live trying to fix the fault. It might be my background as well that causes some troubles. I could always turn that off, I suppose, and there you can see the crappy room behind me now, if you can see it. Turn that off and hope for the best. Anyway, yeah, obviously I was going to talk to you guys about Thailand, what's been happening, what's going to happen, and so on. Those of you who I know from outside of YouTube will know that I've booked to go back to Thailand finally. 4 months here is long enough. We haven't been here 4 months, but that's what we will have been when we get here. And I don't want to be any longer than I had said I was going to be. So the decision has been made. The plan was to go back on the 1st of November, and that is exactly what I've done. I have booked with Qatar Airways, and we will be going back on the 1st of November with Qatar Airways. That's my confirmation. Qatar Airways is my favourite airline, and I've still got this failure message from YouTube. It's better. Okay now. Okay, right. Thanks, Mark. Yeah, it might be just that. It might be just that background image that is just too much for my PC to handle. But anyway, I'm going to show you a couple of images as was the idea. Yeah. So I'm going to go back to Thailand 1st of November with Qatar Airways. That was the flight I really wanted. It's so expensive now. I don't know whether any of you guys are looking at traveling back to Thailand, or to Thailand, or from Thailand back to Europe or to the States or Australia. The prices are very high at the minute. This flight cost me, it was expensive when we came back to Sweden in, what was that? Well, I booked that in June. It cost us a lot more than I expected it to. And the flights now are even more expensive, so we are looking at about almost twice what we paid last year. Twister man, yeah. I would like to use Etihad. The problem for me why I don't use Etihad, and we discussed this offline as well, Twister man, is the fact that Etihad do not fly to Scandinavia. Now, if they flew to either Copenhagen or Stockholm, I would use Etihad by all means. I have flown with them once when I was on my own. Jared stayed in Thailand, and I had to come back for whatever reason. Let's just cut that off there a minute. I had to come back to Thailand, rather come back to Sweden for a while, and it was Easter time and it was expensive, and I ended up flying with Etihad because they offered me a cheap flight. But the problem was that I had to fly obviously from Bangkok to Abu Dhabi, and then Abu Dhabi to Dusseldorf, and then from Dusseldorf to Stockholm. Now, if they flew to Stockholm or they flew to Copenhagen, because either will do for us where we are, because it's a train either way. If they flew there and I could get a direct flight to Abu Dhabi, I would use Etihad. Unfortunately, they don't, so I don't. All right, Tony. Welcome along, mate. Yeah, Tony Bad Badger, retired in Thailand, had a live stream about an hour and a half ago, and I was on his live stream just leaving some comments. But welcome along, Tony. Yeah, so anyway, so Etihad, unfortunately, is an airline that I just don't use because of the fact that I have to fly somewhere else in Europe and then get another not a domestic flight, another intra-European flight, and I just don't know. It's just too much, especially when we have a domestic flight in Thailand as well to add on to that. Darren's no, this lost luggage thing, I don't know whether that's just a thing in the UK or if it's other places as well. I really don't know. But we didn't have any problems as such, apart from the fact the durian. If you don't know about the durian, you'll have to watch that video. But we didn't have any problem with lost luggage and all that caper. And to be quite honest with you, I was talking to my neighbour who's from Portugal yesterday, and she said it was all chaotic when she went to Portugal now this summer. And again, I didn't think there was any problems for us at this end. I've heard there has been problems here. There was Scandinavian Airlines, SAS went on strike. There was problems, but so far so good as far as we're concerned. Just hope it's all right on the way back. As I say, 1st of November, and when we get back to Thailand, I booked a flight directly as soon as we can get up to Udon Thani. So we are not going to stop anywhere on the way. We fly into Bangkok, and we're going to fly up to Udon Thani ASAP. Now, we're due in at 12:40, and the first flight out from Suvarnabhumi was about 17:30 or something like that. And I've done it so many times where I've been waiting and waiting and waiting in Suvarnabhumi after a long journey from here, and it is absolutely a killer to just sit around and wait, and you're so tired and there's nothing much doing. So I decided we're going to try and make the first available flight from Don Muang, which is with Thai Lion Air. So I've booked that as well. Don't know if we're going to make it or not. It was a good deal, got a good price on it, including extra luggage and the whole lot. If we miss it, we miss it, and we'll have to get the next flight from Don Muang. There's more flights from Don Muang than there is from Suvarnabhumi, so that shouldn't be a problem. There is one other thing about flying with Thai Lion Air, which I would really like to get that done, ticked off my list. It's the only Thai domestic airline that I haven't previously flown. So all the other ones, Thai Airways, Thai Smile, Bangkok Airways, Vietjet, Nok Air and Air Asia, I've flown all of those domestically, but I haven't flown with Lion Air before. So that will be something. Yeah, you said something about you changing from Twisterman. Nick, you mentioned that you were transiting in Stockholm, Arlanda, and I didn't really quite work that out why you were doing that. I had a look at flights from Heathrow as well, and there was no difference in the price. Now I know what you mean. You can sometimes find it cheaper if you transit. What I was actually finding was the opposite. Was I could, for example, I could find a much better price flying via Heathrow. So let's say, for example, it was Stockholm to Heathrow changing somewhere, and then on to Bangkok. So it would be a 3-legged, which I really didn't want to do. Get a great price on that. If I then search that flight without the first leg from Stockholm, if I decided, okay, we go early or we do something differently, the price was just way off, and everything I basically looked at was way off, and I sat probably studying everything for about 10 days, 2 weeks for both Stockholm and Copenhagen. As I say, I could fly from either. And I also looked at even having a couple of days somewhere on the way, and then getting a flight from Amsterdam, from London, from various European cities. But the price is just, they are what they are at the minute. And as it turns out, what I've got is probably what I would choose if I could choose it. So which is a flight from Stockholm to Bangkok via Qatar. So I'm happy enough in the end. I mean, you just got to grin and bear it and pay the money, and that's how it is. Right, you booked through my trip. Well, I use Google Flights to look for prices. I've used a few. There's one in Sweden called Flygresa.se, which is quite a good one. And then a lot of these, the cheapest flight that comes up is obviously booking through another agent. Now, often when you get to them, there's no baggage included, or there's no this, or there's no that. So I actually booked mine through Qatar Airways, and I did last time as well. And I am a card carrier member, and so is Joe with Qatar Airways. And you can actually then use your points to pay off part of the price or whatever if you want. I didn't this time, but I know what you mean. There is one of them is Kiwi, I think it is, that they will offer you these tickets. So it might be a like you saying, Twister Man, you get a separate flight, let's say with Scandinavian Airways to Stockholm, and then it might be with a different airline like Qatar Airways or whatever, who's not in the same, because they're Star Alliance and One World. So and obviously if something happens with that Scandinavian flight, you could be in trouble. But I know Kiwi.com, I think you pay, if you book through them or whatever, you pay a little bit over the odd or whatever, but they will guarantee that, so it's a kind of an insurance there. But no, I just booked directly with Qatar Airways once I'd sort of found a price that I liked. But I checked through Google Flights. Google Flights is really good, and anybody who's looking for a flight, I can recommend them. Anyway, I wanted to move away from flights for a minute, if that's all right with everybody. And I was going to tell you about what's been going on in Thailand. Let me just get back to this here so you can... right, yeah, I was going to say I wanted to tell you what's been going on in Thailand. Regular viewers of my vlogs will know that I moaned and often moan about the lack of rain that we usually do get on our farm where we are, just to the northeast of northwest I should say, of Udon Thani. And that's been true most of the time for a long time. Last year's rice was a complete write-off. Some of this year's will be, but not for the same reason. But there has been, if you've been in Thailand or you follow the news in Thailand, there has been a lot of rain recently, and especially up with us as well. And at the minute there are big floods in the very far north of Thailand. I know in Chiang Rai there's been bad floods and all that up that way, but we had some flooding problems as well ourselves. And I was going to show you a few photographs of things that have happened, just to let you see some of what's been going on. Hopefully my PC will last long enough for that. Right, let's have a look. Just have to bear with me a minute, because nothing works like it's supposed to when you're live. That's always the way. I think it's just a lot easier if you just go live on your phone and you don't try and prepare things, and you don't want to show any photos, or you don't want to do anything else. You just want to rabbit away and read the comments and answer the comments. Then it's all that easy. If you try and do something and do a bit of a presentation or show something, other things, things always never work properly. That's kind of my understanding, or how I seem to experience it. Anyway, I'm going to show you some photos. Flood wise, there's a few before and afters here, so you can see what yeah. Tony, well, yeah, I couldn't imagine you were standing there in your swimming pool, Tony, with much more than your mobile on the side of the pool. But yeah, it works just great. I mean, I did a live stream in Thailand recently, and I did use my phone because of the exact same reason. The thing didn't work, you know, and then I put it all in, but I didn't realize I needed to use the software. So I downloaded the software afterwards and I tested it all out, and I've been testing it and getting it all working and knowing, you know, what to do with the software and how I'm going to do it and what have you. But you know, as I say, probably being an amateur, you know, I don't have the processing power and what have you in my PC. That's the long and the short of it. And I think to be able to cope with all that. But hopefully you can see this picture that I'm about to show you. Now, those of you who know will know that this is the pool at Ban Swan, where we have our farmhouse. And I've marked this photo with some blue and some red things. Pump I'll come back to, but 1 and 2 are trees. And basically we had a massive flood. Our neighbour has done a lot of landfill, and unfortunately she didn't yeah, no kids, no animals, but it still don't work, Tony. It's the PCs with too little RAM, I think, is the problem. Yeah, our neighbour, she filled in, she did a lot of work over behind the Tunnel of Love. For those of you that remember the Tunnel of Love, it's where we grew passion fruit in a kind of a long tunnel you could go, and I nicknamed it the Tunnel of Love because of passion fruit as well. Anyway, she did all this work there, dug out this big pool, but she did a lot of landfill there, which was fine. This is a couple of years back now, which was fine when we didn't have any major rain. Then suddenly this year we have had some serious rain fall in Thailand, and it flooded. And basically what happened was our pool here flooded, the paddy fields all around flooded, and there was nowhere for the water to run basically, so we had major floods here. The one and the two there, the trees, this is actually now that the water has receded. These photos I got from my sister-in-law in the week. So that's number one tree, it's still in the water, and that's number two tree, which is the small coconut palm that's never grown. They're still in the water, but the water has receded. The water was up over the bank here before. Now we have had to get some remedial work done to sort that out. This is looking the other way from the original photo that I just showed you. It's the path going down towards the tunnel. I love that. And that tree there is tree number one, and this is the little palm tree there, tree number two. Now this is what it looked like when the water was at its highest. It basically filled the pool and the pool overflowed, and down to the right as you look at that photo is our neighbour's pool, another pool, but our neighbour, it's quite a lot deeper down, we're a lot higher up, and that land is dug out, so of course it all ran down into there, so we lost a lot of fish into there. Luckily we've got good friends and family members who've come and helped us out, you know, but we've lost a lot of fish and a lot of damage is caused. Come back to this picture. This is what I want to show you now. When it says pump, you can see how high the water normally, this is the normal water level on this photo. This I went through some photos to find suitable ones so I could show you. The pump is a bit hard to see there, but the blue thing in the red circle, if I zoom in a little bit, that's where the pump is. There's this kind of upside down U of pipe work, which I will show you on the next photo, and you will see. This here you can see is the upside down U of pipe work. This is when it was first installed, and I was very proud of myself, so I took a photo. Why I'm telling you this is when it was first installed, because when you look at the next photos you'll see that the pipework doesn't look the same, because it's been out in the sun. A lot of the pipework has faded, but after this flood that was the situation. And of course, where's the pump? Yeah, where's the pump? The pump's under the water here somewhere. So I'm afraid I don't expect that pump to be up to much, unfortunately, when we get back. I haven't got anybody to test it, there's no point in doing that, but you know, it's an electric pump, and it won't have liked being submerged, as it's not a submersible pump. So there you go, that's just a close-up view of the same that I just zoomed into. So yeah, that would be one thing that would need to be replaced probably when we get back. I did actually have to get it repaired in the winter time when we came back last time. So yeah, pump probably not going to be working again. My stream status now says excellent, so I'm hoping I'm hoping that's the case. I'm pretty sure it should be. Let me just try something. How am I looking now? I think I should be all right. I can see an image up there because I'm using this software. I have to keep clicking between them, but that image was hacky before as well. So I think everything's working as it should now. So I'm keeping my fingers crossed. What are you saying, Tony? Just make sure you've got your wellies on if it's still wet and the pump is like, oh, I like Yeah, no, the I can switch the pump is actually live. It shouldn't be live, isn't it? Because it's switched off. It's connected to a switch on in a box on a post. So yeah, I know what you mean. The water won't be there by the time you get back. In fact, it should have receded already. I'll come to that in a bit. Why it should have receded. Because, as I say, we had to get some things done about the situation. So you know, I mean, it will be what it is. But it'll have dropped by the time we get back, I imagine. Anyway, I'll show you a few more photos. This, for those of you that will remember, is where Jo and her sister grow vegetables in the. It's basically the paddy that's in front of the house. That looked like that when it was flooded. Now the water's almost up to the lane. The height of the lane. Normally that, you know, it's a couple of steps down to get down into that. It's I don't know how low down compared to the lane it would be there, but I would say about 70 to 80 centimeters, 3 to 4 feet at least. So that was just completely filled with water as well. This was full of rice, but I'm not sure if the rice survived or not. Certainly the paddy furthest down by the gate on the same side hasn't survived because of the flooding. I've seen some photos from the other way and they look okay, so hopefully the rice has survived this time. This is at the end of the tunnel of love. That's the little hut where our well pump is, or one of our well pumps is. And this paddy, this photo is from a couple of years ago. Jo grew vegetables in this field, in this paddy at that time. That looked like that. Same thing, there was rice growing there. You can't see a blade of the rice because of, well, you can see a few here, but basically that filled up. The land that was worked, that was filled in, which is what caused this problem because there was nowhere to run off, is here at the back behind the pump house. Now the local village chief was not happy about that situation and went and gave a what for, and that's made to do some remedial work as well. So I don't think we will have this problem again. I'm hoping we won't have this problem again. And it seems to be, from what I can gather from I'm in talk to relatives and stuff, that everything's under control, and from what they've done, so that's good. There, let's have a look at the next one. Yeah, this is at the other end of basically the corner that's here, if you like, look in the opposite direction. This photo again, this is the pool behind it where I stood to take this. Oh, I didn't take this photo, sorry, my sister-in-law took this photo. Where she's standing has a back almost to the little hut where the pump is. Now this is an even lower gradient down into that paddy field. It's probably a metre, I would say, and the water is up and over the where they drive the tractor down. So this is really flooded, and in fact there are 2 4-inch pipes, or there might be 3-inch pipes that are under the water here that fill into the pool. So they probably stopped filling because the pool was overflowing. I don't know how that got like that, but you can see there's a lot of water there. The same thing here. I just took this quickly. I didn't have a shot exactly that matched the next shot I'm going to show you, but that's the back of the pigsty. The post there is where the electric box is, by the way. It's only for the pump, but the pump is switched off most of the time. and that's the back of the couch. And then the pigsty, and the water's all overflowed from the pool. So yeah, a lot of water damage there. Now look at some of these comments. Yeah, I mean, I don't really work the farm, Tony, to be honest with you. My darling wife Jo does most of the stuff. But in Thailand, we're lucky because it doesn't cost us an arm and a leg to get help in. We get help in, you know. We can pay some people to help us out, you know, and we have a good network and so on. When I'm in Sweden, that's where I have the problem, because I have a big garden, and that I'm really struggling with at the minute, you know, to keep on top of that. And my next vlog, which will be out next Sunday, a week today, you'll be able to see exactly where I've got with that. And you know, the problem is here that there, you know, I mean, things in Sweden are massively expensive. Now, that has its good sides. You know, you make a lot of money here, but the downside is that so does everybody else. So if you want somebody to come and do a job, it costs you an absolute arm and a leg. And you know, getting somebody to come in and help do the garden or whatever, it's just not an option. Whereas in Thailand, we're paying people at the minute while we're not there to do jobs for us, take care of the other farm, not this farm, and what have you. So yeah, I know what you mean. Keeping your own garden, if it's just you trying to do it, is a job. My garden in Sweden is 1,100 square meters, but there's an awful lot to do with that. It's lawn, there's hedges, there's, you know. So I know what you mean, Tony. It's if I had to do it all myself, I wouldn't be able to do it. Plus, of course, I work full time, even though I'm also sick, as you might know, having had a stroke 4 years ago. I almost had to cancel this live stream, by the way, because I wasn't feeling well, but I'm feeling better now, so fingers crossed, touch wood. Yeah, it is always an issue, and half of it is looking really good now, but I haven't done the other half yet. But you see that when I get my next vlog out. Anyway, talking of remedial work, this is what we've had done, so that the pool will not overflow its banks everywhere. We've had some of our friends help us out there, and Jo's sister basically dug away the side of the pool, put this concrete pipe in, and that is now the overflow. So if it starts getting, and there's a net in front of that at the other end to keep the fish from, you know, swimming down the pipe and escaping. So the fish that are left, I mean, we had too many fish anyway, so, but the fish that are left can't get out through the pipe, but hopefully any excess flood water will run out through the pipe and it will run down into the paddy. So it's you know, hopefully going to be enough, especially now that the neighbour has also had to do some work, because, as I said, the village chief was not a happy bunny with the state of play, and came along and gave a what for after. So you know, that's that. Twister man, yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah, having to leave money and whatever. I send money every month to Thailand for my own bills, and we have, obviously, those of you that watch my videos will know, one of Jo's nieces lives in the house full time and takes care of the 3 dogs in the house there. So we send money to her for that. Send money to her to pay the housekeeper guy who comes and cleans the house twice a week. Jo left money to a friend who is taking care of Nadon Goy, but it's all, you know, it costs money, but you can do it in Thailand because it's, you know, costs are a lot cheaper and whatever. As I say, here in Sweden, not very easy. Got to look after your health. Yeah, I know, Tony. I mean, to be quite honest with you, if I didn't need to, we were discussing pensions and what have you on your live stream earlier, and I was saying that I will carry on paying into my pension because I'm only 55. I came to Sweden 25 years ago, roughly. Before that, I didn't really, I mean, I worked for, you know, I did have some pension, company pension, but I didn't work all that long enough to have anything really to, you know, to shake a stick at, really. And when I left the UK, I travelled a bit and worked here and there, and then I came to Sweden, and I've been working in Sweden and paying in for about 25 years, and for the last 17 years I've had my own business. Not all of the years have been good with that, but recently it's been, you know, the last few years has been a lot better, and we pay in a lot more now. I have a business partner, and both of us have been paying into a pension for a long time with that, but now we're paying a lot more money. But being 55, I've got to keep going because it's too early, you know, based on the amount of time that I've been paying in to retire just yet. But I do have the benefit of being able to work from home wherever I am, which is what I do now. So he runs the business as such, and I take care of various things. But, you know, I wouldn't work at all if I didn't have to. Unfortunately, it's something I need to do. I cannot afford to retire at the minute, because I definitely wouldn't last long on the, you know, the pot as it stands at the minute. I should have a decent pension if I can keep paying into it for another 5 or 10 years, but it, you know, it's difficult, and I don't have the option. You know, I was lucky enough to be on the sick here for 12 months, but they are so on you to get back to work, you know, and despite whatever you know, they just, yeah, well, if you can't do your old job, you can, you know, you can look for a new job and all this kind of thing. And it's like, well, I've had a stroke, you know, and I can't really do any job, but I'm lucky now. I do what I want, how I want it. It's not stressful, and I can be pretty much where I want to be. So, you know, I agree with you 100%. Health is the number one issue. Luke, who's joined us? Hi, Luke. Yeah. How's Hong Kong? Who stood it till? Yeah, Luke is one of my regular viewers and a subscriber, I expect, and he lives in Hong Kong, but he studied here in Sweden, lived here in Sweden for a while. So if you watched my last but one vlog, I gave a shout out to Luke because we had been discussing offline. We'd been discussing a TV show where they showed the country home of the Swedish Prime Minister, and which is why I went past it, because it's quite near here. Get your UK state pension in 3 years. Okay. Right. Well, you see, I could take my company pension now. I mean, I'm 55, but it just, you know, it wouldn't be worth it. And so because I'm in the situation that I'm in, and I can do what I do, you know, it's better to just keep going and keep paying in and keep drawing out a salary out from the business. I would like to have sold my share of the business, but that didn't seem to be much of an option. But it might be for the future. You never know. Now, if I did sell that, obviously that would be as good as my pension. But as it is at the minute, the business is profitable. We can draw a salary. We have employees, and we take out a small share dividend as well. So, you know, I have a good enough income. The problem is the health. You know, it's not always easy for me to work, even though I do very little now in comparison to what I used to do. Yeah, got to do what works. Yeah, that's the only way I can, you know, that's the only thing I can say about that, Tony. I try to do what you know, what works, and just play it by ear, really. That's all there is to do. If I find that it's just getting too much, I will of course retire, you know, and then I take out my pension, and then obviously I can look at selling my share of the business or whatever. And the longer we go with the business, as it's going at the minute, probably the more value I would get out of selling my share of it, because the last few years we've been a lot more profitable than we've been for the first 12, 14, 15 years. But the last, I mean, we've been going 17 years, but you know, the last few years have been really good. So you know, we shall see how it goes, but it works so far. Darren's, I don't know if Darren's is still here, but he, amongst others, was a fan of Pook Luke, or Buffalo, joust buffalo. I did show you in a video, but I just wanted to show you a photo. Pook Luke was pregnant when we got her, and eventually, they have a long gestation period, buffaloes. It's about 10 and a half, 11 months, but eventually Pook Luke had a baby, and I did show a little bit of a video clip, but just to let you know that Pook Luke and baby are doing really well. Joe's sister's built up a big stable of buffalo now, and quite a few young ones, so you know, sooner or later she's going to have a lot of buffalo, and they're all doing really well. So that's Pook Luke, and yeah, not much more to say about Pook Luke, but I know Darren's was a fan of Pook Luke, so there you go. The only problem with this software is I have to keep clicking between windows because things disappear. What are we saying? Yep, Darren's is still there, right? Yeah, I got some photos of the cats actually today, Darren's as well, but I haven't got those prepared so that I can show. But yeah, all the cats seem to be doing all right, so I'm happy about that. My dogs, unfortunately, the two dogs at the farm have been up to no good, and they've escaped and killed a few of Joe's ducks, but it's they are a bit of a pain, you know. I don't know what to do with them really. We rescued these two dogs. Joe actually was the one who rescued them, and they're lovely dogs, apart from the fact that they just want to go killing fowl wherever they can possibly find it, which is usually at our place now, that if we ever got any chickens or ducks. So they killed a few of the ducks, and that didn't go down very well again. But let me have a look here, some comments. Look, penny stamp back in the UK. Yeah, well, that's the thing. I mean, that's obviously I mean, I pay my tax here in Sweden, and because I work in Sweden, even though I'm not in Sweden most of the time that I'm working, and so obviously as I pay my taxes, then that my state pension here, I won't have any state pension from the UK. I don't know, it was discussed earlier with Tony's Bad Badgers live stream about how long you have to pay in. I don't know that I paid in long enough, to be quite honest with you. I'm not sure whether I get anything from the UK or not, and I'm not counting on it, you know. If I do, I do. £10 a week, yeah, that's that's not too bad, I suppose. I pay, I'm not going to go into how much I pay here in Sweden for tax and insurances and whatever, but we don't have national insurance as such. We do, but it's called something completely different. But it's a hell of a lot of money. But yeah, poor ducks. Yeah, some of them are still with us, Darren's. We did have 14 or 15 at one point. I think we've got about half a dozen left now. We ate one, which is probably a good thing, you know, before the dogs kill them all. But yeah, I mean, we've had chickens, and I mean, it's neighbours' chickens, and you know, and I seem to have bad luck with dogs. Last year, 2 of our dogs were poisoned because of the very same thing. They kept running off and doing the same thing, killing chickens on neighbours' farms, and we had to move Cafe to the house. So Cafe's at the house now, and then there's just these 2 dogs that we rescued. So you know, I don't know really what would what would come of that. What did it say? Yeah, I mean, the dogs, you know, apart from the fact that they run off and do what they do, you know, they're great and they're good, they guard the place, you know, they love us to bits and what have you. But they are just a pain, you know, for this very thing. And there's not much you can do. And to be quite honest with you, we rescued the dogs because they were only pups when we rescued them, but somebody was going to kill them because of the fact that they'd been killing chickens. Now they were strays that had been dumped, so I don't know if they got into that habit because they were hungry and they weren't being fed and they were just dumped out in the farm in the middle of nowhere. Because Nadongoi is out, you know, it's not exactly central, you know. I mean, it's a good way out from the village, 15 minutes out from the village, you know, in the countryside, and there's no major roads or whatever, it's just down this little lane. So the dogs were going to be somebody was threatening to kill them because they'd been killing chickens, but I wonder whether that was because they were hungry, you know, they weren't being fed because they'd just been dumped there. What's about you saying? You can check it through Department of Worker Pensions with your national insurance number. Yeah, I could actually do that, I suppose. I did have a company pension scheme as well with Tesco. I worked for Tesco for a few years as a stock controller, and I've probably got entitlement to something there, even if it's a very small amount. I mean, there's a saying which well, Luke would know, and anybody else who speaks Swedish, många bäckar små, which you know, it's a bit like many a mickle max and muckle. It's, you know, if I had a little bit of pension, state pension from the UK, and I had a little bit of something from Tesco's, even if it was, you know, a £5 a week, it would be something extra, you know. I mean, obviously, I'm not scraping the barrel, so, you know, hopefully I wouldn't need that. But when the time comes when I actually do retire, and I am purely relying on what pensions I'm getting from where, then, you know, it might be the case of rounding them all up and seeing what I can get from wherever. So yeah, dogs, the dogs, like I say, we have to keep them tied up now, and they're on these chains and what have you. They do you know, let you know what's going on. And to be quite honest with you, living at Banswan on the farm, I feel, and at the house too in the city, to be quite honest with you, where we have the other dogs, I feel that I wouldn't want to be there without them. I mean, here we don't have dogs, there's no dogs around. I have put up security cameras and things now. It's a different atmosphere here, it's a different, you know, but there are crimes, you know, we've had break-ins and so on. You know, having the dogs is certainly a bonus. You know, it's absolutely, there's more good than bad. And like I say, if it can stop them killing chickens, then that's, or ducks or whatever, then that's all well and good. And you know, I don't know how they escaped this time. They do escape occasionally. I mean, they've got chains and what. Now, unfortunately, sometimes when they get twisted up and whatever, the thing will release. But you know, they've got good strong chains and everything for the most part. So I do try and keep them so that they don't get and kill things. Let me have a look at these. Register first, easy to check. I think it's just UK government state pension. Yeah, I'm gonna have a look at that. I'm definitely gonna have a look at that. I'll just go online on Google and find. I mean, I can tell you my, well, I won't tell you my national insurance number, but I know my national insurance number, so you know, it would be quite interesting, just out of curiosity, if nothing else, to see what I could possibly be entitled to. So I don't know. You know, it's it might be worth taking a look. Let me have a look on here a moment. I'm going to see if I've got, oh yeah, I'm not sure whether anybody would be interested in this or not, but I'm gonna perhaps show you some of these. I've got there's only 3 or 4 of them. I don't know if any of you are interested in AI. AI, as in artificial intelligence. I am quite interested in this, and I was watching this, watching a few videos and programs about DALL-E, this amazing new artificial intelligence. So apparently you can do some stuff yourself with it if if you want to. Anyway, I couldn't find the actual real DALL-E, but I went online, and there's this thing called DALL-E Mini. Now I used another one as well, and you can basically, what this thing will do is it will generate images from text, and yeah. Sorry, I'm reading comments now. I'm not telling you about DALL-E. The triple lock has been lifted this year. State pensions. When is in line with inflation in the UK? Yeah, I've no idea what the triple lock is, Nick. I haven't lived in the UK for 25 years, and when I did live in the UK, I was young and stupid and didn't really care too much about pensions things. So I didn't pay much attention to any of that. But like I say, I did have an actual job for a while. And I worked for Tesco. In fact, I worked for Tesco just before I left. I took a career break. I never went back. I was basically had this scheme where you could take a minimum of 3 years up to a maximum of 5 years. You didn't need to decide how long you wanted to be away, but once you were granted it and you said, right, I'm stopping on this day, you had to be away at least 3 years. But you were guaranteed a job of the same pay scale and what have you. If you came back within 5 years. So I went off to find my fame and fortune, and never came back. And once I decided I wasn't going back, I just handed my notice in basically, and sent them a letter saying I have no intention of coming back, and thanks very much. So everything was like above board and what have you. So I should and possibly would be entitled to something, but I don't know what. But we will see. You know, when I will have a look with Tesco as well when I can. But definitely, I will have a look. I will have a look at the UK state pension. I mean, to be quite honest with you, I wouldn't expect it to be much because I didn't work very long in the UK. And if you've worked all your life, you hardly get anything. I mean, my parents are in their mid-70s, like 70. I'm 75, I think, coming up this year, and you know. They get next to nothing off the state, so I don't know really whether it'd be something or nothing or whatever. But you know, like I said before, even if it's a small amount, I will probably you know, add that to the list. And when the time comes and I actually do say, right, I am retiring and I'm going to stop working, I'm going to take pension, or when I'm entitled to do that with the UK state pension, then I would, you know, yeah. Well, I agree, Tony. Yeah, it is mine, and you know, I'll take it when it's time. And if there's anything to take, I will. I'll take it. So we shall see. Anyway, going back to DALL-E, because I want to show you these photos or pictures, because they're really crap. When you see it on the telly or on these YouTube videos and whatever, this AI is a wonderful thing, and it can. You know, you can just give it some text and it will create these fantastic images. So I put in, and I did this for all of these, but they're not all the same AI. That I think I used 3 different ones. I just put expat European farmer in Thailand to see what would come up, and I thought these could be quite fun to show people on the live stream or whatever. And they're really, really bad. So the first one. There's a selection of images where it basically looks like they are images of Thai farmers where they've just kind of, I don't know what you'd say, they've kind of just hidden the face so it doesn't look like anything. So they're pretty crap. The next one that came up was very abstract. Now that's something that an AI computer has come up with from my text, which was expat European farmer in Thailand. So if there's any art experts out there that can tell me what that's supposed to be, then yeah, that's really good. And the final one, so I've shown you these, the final one is this expat European farmer in Thailand, or European expat farmer in Thailand. Again, I'm not really quite sure whether it's just taking a couple of photos of farmers in Thailand and then sort of got rid of the face and what have you and mangled them up a bit, but they're pretty crap. Yeah, well, Dennis, I don't know. I think they I think Buglook might have got a better look in. I'm not sure what these are, whether they're buffalo or whether they're elephants or what they're supposed to be. But oh, sorry about that. It's my phone. That's a cow, so that's not a buffalo. No actual buffaloes that I can see. I don't know what that is. Looks like the back end of a cow as well. Yeah, don't know. They weren't very good anyway, so I don't think I'll be doing too much with Dali for a while. But that was the AI, and let me have a look on here now. Somebody sending me a message. It could be to do with Zhao's berries and mushrooms that she does here. So I should check it out, because you never know, it could be important. I see we've been going for an hour now, and I will probably be calling it a day pretty soon. But let me see. I've got Messenger installed as a Windows app on my PC as well, but again, it doesn't want to start very quickly. Right, well, not much of anything there to see. Alright, not to worry about that. Look like the movie Avatar. Yeah, they are. They're a bit weird. I don't know. When you see these, there are some AI ones that you can create an image of a human being, like a person that never actually existed, and they seem to be really good. Now I forget the address for that. There's a website where you can do it, and it will just generate a random picture of what should be a person but are actually not people. They're not pictures of anybody that actually exists. They are just random, and they're really, really good, and they look just like people that could exist but don't. And there might be somebody that actually looks a bit like that, but no, these ones are pretty rubbish. So right, I'm getting another bad message about, oh yeah, Joe, afternoon. Yeah, it's hot here, mate. It's in the 30s here in Sweden at the minute. But do I think I'll retire? Do I think I'll stick to that? More or less, Luke. Yeah, I think so. I mean, it depends on Jo as well, what she wants to do. Well, it depends on her now, because that's really, the agreement was that we would do half and half, and it's become a bit more than that. Thanks, Joe. Yeah, we had a lot of problems with the video earlier on, but I'm going to be wrapping it up in a minute, so I won't be worrying too much about it now, because I've just had another error message about the quality of the video. We'll just carry on and see how it goes. Obviously, if it was up to me, I would stay in Thailand. I'll maybe just come for a holiday, a month, or 6 weeks or whatever. I will return. I will indeed. But I don't know. Yeah, it's hot here at the minute. It's yeah, I can't remember the name of it, Darren. It's the face thing you think. If I remember it, I'll let you know. but it's good. I've tried it myself. Um, Big fail, 5 back. Okay, hi there. Just came so hot here in the north of England too. Yeah, it's hot. It's hot at the minute. We haven't had it like they have in a lot of Europe and in the UK. Most of the summer's been pretty crap, but the last few days it's been really good. It's proper summer weather now, and it's up in the 30s in the afternoon, and I'm liking it. It's like, you know, it's like being in Thailand. So I don't think it'll last all that long. It tends not to, but it's due to be around for a few days anyway, into next week. So if it does, then that's good for me. But while the UK was having its real heat wave a few weeks back, it was absolutely crap weather. It was cold, it was wet, it was, you know, well, it wasn't cold as such. It was a very cold northerly wind, an Arctic wind blowing, because I think the hot weather over the UK, and maybe in Sweden here, which wasn't in that hot weather, it was dragging this cold air down from the north. So yeah, all the best, Joe. Hopefully you will catch my vlog next Sunday. That's my new time now. Those of you, I probably mentioned it a few times, but I'm not doing a weekly vlog here because there basically is nothing to show. I mean, there are a few things to show, but not a lot goes on. So you know, I'm not going to try and force out content that I can't. You know, the whole point of my channel is it's about daily life, so I'm not going looking for things, you know, out of the ordinary. Yeah, thanks a lot, Nick. All the best, mate, and I'll catch you in the comments sometime soon. Yeah, so basically I've decided I'm going to do a weekly vlog. While I'm in Thailand, I will do a weekly vlog every week at this time, 19:30 Bangkok time, and that will come out on a Sunday, 19:30. While I'm in Sweden here now, I did have some content catching up, and Joe, you'll have to watch next week's vlog, mate. I'm not telling you the answer to that, but spoiler alert, not yet. But watch next week's vlog. So yeah, as of now, next week will be a vlog. A fortnight today will be a live stream, and vlog live stream, and the last live stream will be all the best, Luke. Cheers, mate. The last live stream will be the last Sunday in October, whatever that day is. It's probably about the 30th, I suppose. And the following Sunday we will be back in Thailand, and I will hopefully have a vlog for you from Thailand, and then I will stop the live streams alternate weeks and just have a weekly vlog every Sunday, and anything in between I will have perhaps a Wednesday or a Thursday, maybe have a impromptu live stream and what have you on one of those days, but I'm going to try and stick to that publishing time and see how it gets me. Anyway, I'm going to wrap it up now. Thanks to everybody who's been involved, who's been watching. Darren's. Yeah, well, you know, there's a few things to show, but it's not like it is in Thailand, Darren's. Unfortunately, life is kind of predictable here. You know, one of the big attractions about Thailand is you never know what's you know what's going to happen. There's always some unexpected things, and even when you live in a kind of pretty average kind of life, you know, not particularly exciting or whatever, there's always stuff going on, you know. So there's things to show, but there isn't here really. You know, there's a few things that happen that aren't obviously what you would want, or you know, surprises or whatever. But generally, you know, it does get a bit mundane here. Yes, I am going to be busy. It does get a bit mundane, so it's difficult within the space of a week. Of course, a week that I am now working as well again, to find much to show, edit it into a video and have it ready by Sunday afternoon. And of course the football season started now, so and any of you know I'm a Manchester City supporter, so I rather enjoyed this weekend so far. Anyway, that's about it. I will see you all on a vlog next Sunday, and hopefully we'll have a live stream a fortnight today, 7:30 p.m. Bangkok time, 14:30 Europe, 13:30 UK, and I will try and, I don't know whether I'll try and show photos or whatever, or I'll just do it over my phone. We shall have to see. But I will take a look at the, I'll replay the live stream as well and see how it looked, and yeah, see if I can learn anything from that, and you know, perfect it. Everything is different in Thailand, Joe, you're right. So guys, that's it. Thanks a lot for watching. It's been fun. I'm going to leave it there. Catch you all again soon. Bye for now. Oh, give us a thumbs up, by the way. And subscribe if you're not subscribed. I'm trying to get my subscribers up. They're just going down one by one while I'm here in Sweden. But anyway, you never know. Cheers. Thanks, guys.